Eggnog Plus is this game where you and some other guy fight each other to the death by fencing and try to cross a... Hey, wait a minute. So on the video I made about Nidhogg and its questionable sequel, a bunch, and I mean a bunch of people commented telling me about this game called Eggnog Plus, which many people claim to be the real spiritual successor to Nidhogg. Eggnog was made by Mad Garden for the 2013 March TO Jam with the theme of uncooperative. As you may have already guessed, it was based off of Nidhogg, but strangely enough, it was actually released before Nidhogg, and the inspiration came solely from the trailers about the game. So in a way, Eggnog is actually a prequel to Nidhogg. The game received various updates over the years until we got Eggnog Plus, the final version that we all have today. With the game being on itch.io and also being free, I decided, hey, why not give it a go? And well, I can definitely see the inspiration. The basic premise of Eggnog is the same as Nidhogg. You fight with rapiers that can be held at various heights to get the right of way, letting you progress your screen, and when you've passed enough screens, you win. But Eggnog does a lot of things differently. You no longer hold your rapier at 3 different heights. You instead stab at different heights based on your input. Similar to Nidhogg, you can block incoming rapier thrusts by holding your rapier at the same height, and if you just push your rapier into someone, it kills them. Eggnog is a lot more physics-based, and this really is used to its fullest when you throw your rapier. In Nidhogg, thrown rapiers kinda just fly infinitely and can only be thrown at one height. However, in Eggnog, rapiers actually ricochet off of walls and can be thrown at various angles, letting you pull off crazy trick shots. There are so many more options for mobility. You can do wall jumps, you can slide down walls, you can Mario bounce off your opponent's head. Combat while in air is a lot more fleshed out now. You can stab in the air, allowing you to do more technical moves like falling onto your opponent with your rapier. Instead of dive kicking, you just do this regular kick, which can lead into unarmed combat, which is also more fleshed out. If your opponent is standing still, then they block all of your punches, taking no damage, so you have to be more creative when you're unarmed. Honestly, there are so many things that can be done that sometimes it makes Nidhogg 1 look like a game for stupid children, like god damn. There are only 5 maps in the game, but just like Nidhogg 1, it really makes the most out of each map. The maps complement all of the new movement options so much. Some screens have branching paths, making it easier to run from your opponent. Others are more platformer heavy, making it both easy to run, but also easy to knock your opponent off, getting a quick kill to get the right of way. Some rooms are filled with traps or spikes, keeping you on your toes, and some rooms have these evil bottlenecks which give your opponent plenty of chances to snatch the right of way from you, like this one. What am I even supposed to do here? The new traps and obstacles really add a lot more depth to combat, especially when paired with your new mobility. I really like these mines which explode shortly after you touch them. They could just be seen as a regular obstacle, or they could be seen as another weapon you can use against your opponent. The way respawns work in this game also continues to keep the game interesting. In Nidhogg, you always respawn with a rapier, but in Eggnog, each screen only gives you a rapier on your first 3 respawns. Meaning, if you kill each other too many times on one screen, you both just spawn unarmed and either have to fight hand to hand or use the rapiers that you've left on the ground. In this one map, you don't even spawn with rapiers at all, and instead have to find them lying on the ground in each screen. There's even a map which instead of the usual game is just basketball, with only one screen, where instead of progressing your screen, you just have to score 7 points by jumping into your opponent's goal. So, is this game the real successor to Nidhogg? Well, kinda. There are definitely some issues holding it back. First of all, the soundtrack in this game isn't quite as good as Nidhogg. You know, let's compare the two. But the main problem I have with this game is the lack of bots. To get the footage for this video, I had to download a mod in order to have player 2 be controlled by a bot. To be fair, it is very easy to set up and use, and the dev did design the game to be easily modded, but it would have been nice to see a more advanced bot system, like multiple difficulties, or maybe even a single player mod like Nidhogg. Other than all of that, it's a very well made game that isn't really a sequel to Nidhogg, it's more of a reimagining. At first, I was pretty overwhelmed with everything you can do, but the more I played and understood the mechanics, the more fun I was having. Nidhogg gives you all of the opportunities to outrun and outsmart your opponent, where Eggnog gives you all of the opportunities to simply outplay your opponent. It's not as atmospheric or as precise as Nidhogg, but the diversity in maps, the tools at your disposal, and the physics that let you pull off stuff like this make it just that much more fun. It's not the perfect sequel to Nidhogg, but I will say that it is the true spiritual successor to Nidhogg.